Hello everyone and welcome back to PGP Motorsports Park for the third race of the summer season. You're joining us here today for the last chance qualifying. These are the people who went out early, I guess. It seems like there's a mechanical issue with that car, but these are the people who did not finish in the top 10 of their respective heat races, and they're striving to finish in a top 4 position here to make it into the final. Otherwise, they're just out for it and they're going to take the points that they have.
Looks like Manny has a mechanical issue with his kart. That's really unfortunate. It looks like his pedal might be stuck. With mechanical issues like this, I think they hold up the grid and get him a new kart.
Yeah, I think that's
not his fault.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen here. They're going to bring his kart in. They're going to bring him another kart for him to utilize, and then we'll get started whenever that's done.
And there he is. Let's get this race underway. Slotting right into position, spearheading his LCQ is that looks like Aiden Flynn, maybe. But Harb is in second, Scott Miller third, and Alex fourth. Everyone wants to bunch up together.
Yep, and now they're getting ready for their rolling
pan to the
start.
flag bearer, and we can get this race underway. Take it away, Steven.
Yep, so here they are in their formation lap. The flag's waved and they're away already, and they're going to be bursting out in the back of the pack there. It looks like someone had a slow start there. Not quite ready for that start as they go into the roller coaster. I don't hear anything going wrong there. They make it through there cleanly, and through double apex they go.
Aiden Flynn just gets away.
Yeah, into light bulb they go. Oh.
So about the weather today, the weather did say 40% to 60% precipitation. It's not raining yet, but those clouds are looking mighty menacing as the wind picks up, so we might see some changing conditions today.
Yeah, the wind is definitely picking up. Thankfully I've got a tighter cap on this time so I won't get blown away, and then hopefully we don't see any issues with the tarp. But we see this huge line of carts jumbling into turns 5 and 4 in the reverse direction today. We're going. I see some too wide action. They're going to make that work through 4. Are they going to leave the space? It looks like the space is left, and we're going to see some too wide action as people go into the braking zone of turn 3.
I just want to give a quick update. The guy that didn't get a good start overtook someone, so he's no longer in last. That's Addison, by the way, who is having a pretty comfortable race. He didn't have a great heat race, but he's back in the fight. Good to see it. I spoke to him in the paddock. He's one of the newer racers here. He said I don't need to remember his name. Addison, I remember your name. Go get him out there. You got this. Here they come now. Rounding turn 1. They're going the reverse direction today. Leading the field, we got Aiden, followed by Harb, Alex, and Scott. That's the top 4. Manny making the move for 4th place around the outside. Followed very closely by, that's not Drew. That's Giuseppe. I got your name this time. 7th is Baron.
Manny's got that inside, but he wasn't able to make it work as he just clonks the curb a little bit, loses that momentum, but still he's side by side going around the outside of light bulb, and no, he's not able to secure the position. In fact, he loses 2 positions there.
Ouch. That's the thing, when you go to make an overtake...
Oh, never mind, he gets that 1 position back, and he's still pushing as hard as he can.
I mean, pushing as hard as he can is kind of par for the course around here. Glad to see him jockeying for position. In the drivers' meeting this morning, it was worth noting, and I'm totally going to jinx it now, the racing has not gotten any less aggressive, but it's gotten much cleaner, and we love to see that out here. So these guys are pushing well within the upper limits of what they can push with.
I'm definitely very interested in Manny's race because I totally think that he could make it into the final. He just needs to get
He needs to get past Giuseppe and Scott. Good luck. Scott's defense is ironclad.
Oh.
I would put Scott right up there with Paulo and Sergey in terms of defense.
Oh, and Manny loses another position. Oh, no, never mind. He loses another position.
You don't want to fight too much in turn 5 like that, because that's just going to let everyone get away. But as you were focusing on that squabble, Giuseppe makes a move on Scott into turn 3, and they're side by side coming out. This is for 4th place. Scott maintains ahead of Giuseppe and maintains his 4th spot. So you really want to be in 4th place or higher to make it into the final. Optimize the amount of points you get. Otherwise, that's if you're 5th or below, you get championship points, but that's the end of the day for you.
Yeah, it'd be a shame if the Rainmeister gets cut out in LCQ and then the final it starts raining.
Well, we still have quite a few laps to go. We're still in the early stages, so anything can happen. Let's see what Scott, the Rainmeister, can do to fend off everybody, because the top 3 have gotten so far away. This is pretty much turned into a battle for the pseudo lead of the race. spearheaded by Scott, because at the top three, they're like at least a second ahead now. They've run off with it.
And thankfully for Scott, blessing in disguise, the people behind him started fighting, so he's building up that gap.
Baran got by Giuseppe. So now, race order update. Top three, we've got Aiden, followed by Alex making a move on Harb, who just lets him by strategically. He doesn't want to fight it because he doesn't want to sacrifice his position in the final. Pretty smart by Harb. So, top three, Aiden, Alex, and Harb in that order. And then starting from fourth, we've got Scott being followed very closely by Baran, Giuseppe, Manny. Manny just got past. No, he didn't. It was hard to see because there's so many twists and turns up around that light bulb section. Manny, Preston, and Colin. So Scott is spearheading that elimination zone. Scott will make it to the final. Everyone behind him will not, as Giuseppe goes around the outside of turn one, or turn two. That is not the move.
He just gives up the position and gives it to Baran.
Yep, you open the door right up for anyone behind you, and Baran says, thank you, I will take that spot back. And they slot neatly down the front straight. Never mind, we got side-by-side action with Preston on the outside, Manny on the inside, but Preston doesn't quite have the straight line speed. Because he was it took a tighter line, he didn't keep the momentum like Manny did, and that let Manny retain his position. All the action's happening fourth and below, spearheaded by Scott Miller, who is no stranger to defending against the entire grid. I've seen him defend for the win as Baran dives down the inside there, but that's not the move against Scott. He's privy to that, and he will make you pay for it. Case in point.
But then
sneaks his way into turn 5. You don't want to fight in turn 5 too much, because Scott gets a good exit as best he can, and they somehow keep their momentum. Baran loses his momentum. Unfortunately, Scott, I've tried those exact moves on Scott, and he's privy to it every time. They're not gonna work, and it's gonna hurt you instead. As we see Baran drop back, and Giuseppe takes that spot away. Baran really fighting on the inside, but everything is exploding behind him. That's letting Scott get away! Scott's getting away, and now it's a battle for fifth. This is a disaster for everyone except Scott. They're fighting each other too hard, and that's building up the gap to Scott. Brilliantly played by Scott, just letting them fight amongst each other.
Yeah, Scott saw the moves being thrown, and he was like, yeah, that's just not going to work. You might as well be bluffing. I'm not going to fall for that.
Yeah, no, because Scott's very privy to these moves. To overtaking in 7, he sees it coming, and he will set himself up to get a good exit, and it's just not going to work. I can say this because I've been there, right behind Scott. He's a stone wall. If you're going to pass him, you need to really go full send. Baran goes 2. He washes out wide in turn 7, and
Manny is now on the inside.
Giuseppe gets in front, and now Giuseppe's in a position to fight Scott. This is all over the place. This battle for fourth is insane.
But the thing is, the only people switching positions are the people behind Scott.
Case in point, stone wall. Scott's still taking those defensive lines because he knows everyone behind him is just exploding. He can sense that everyone behind him is just fighting tooth and nail with each other. So, case in point, Baran and Manny side by side. Manny takes a deep inside line. Can he get the position against Baran? They go side by side. We get a pointed black flag at somebody fighting too aggressive. That's a warning.
3 wide!
3 wide going through, but the pointed black flag means the driver is being warned for being too aggressive or an otherwise rule violation. So if they do it again, they get black flagged and disqualified. So they gotta kind of clean it up. They're fighting really hard, but fighting a little too hard. Let's tone it back. Let them slot back in. Update from 4th place. Leading this 4th place train, because the top 3 haven't changed at all, Scott is in 4th, followed very closely by Giuseppe. Manny and Baran are side by side going in a bus stop, but Baran gets ahead. Right behind Manny is Colin Flynn. And who the heck is that right behind Colin? I swear I've seen him around before. And right behind him is James Kepps, who had a miserable heat race. He got spun out. He's usually in the final. Alex fighting the lead, but no, it's not quite secured. Aiden's still fighting back. We have a lead change. Alex takes the lead of the LCQ.
Great move by Alex into roller coaster to get that past, and there was a And there was like a return move being thrown through that double apex, but Alex was just able to hold on. And now we're going to see if there's going to be any returning words or returning any moves said. Oh, where are they off
top
at?
of the world.
Oh.
There was a big squabble in top of the world. Baron got pushed in the grass but kept it on. But in Baron losing momentum.
And now, great momentum move. And now Alex loses 2 places. And...
yikes. So Alex is in third. So update on the standings really quick. It was Giuseppe that got shoved out wide and lost all those positions. So he was running really good in fifth, but now he's like way out of contention.
There's a huge battle going on for the lead. I don't quite know the names here, but second place just now took first place.
I got you, fam. Side by side, Harb on the inside, Aiden on the outside, Alex on the inside. We got a 3-way battle for the lead already. Alex, can he retain first? No, he can't, but they're side by side going in a roller coaster. Harb is in the lead of the race, followed closely by Alex, who makes the move. Aiden now in third. Aiden was leading this race, but fell back to third, which, all things considered, not too bad since this is LCQ. They're still going to make it to the final, because they're going to resume this battle in the final. But
yeah, the top
Manny got by Scott and is in fourth.
What? Why did everything kick off at the same time?
All the fighting happened at once. So while the leaders were squabbling, everyone else was squabbling.
But Manny...
Is the door open?
Oh, that looks so risky.
You don't want to leave the door open, Manny.
That looks so risky. Maybe
that was extremely risky.
Maybe it's a little wet out there and the inside line is no longer valid.
We don't know where the rain's falling. I did see a few raindrops out there. But Scott fell back to fifth place. But Manny's starting to get away.
The Rainmaster could get kicked out before the rain even starts.
That is unfortunate. If it rains during the final, that's going to suck. I mean, for more reasons than it just raining for most of the racers who aren't familiar with racing in the rain. It hasn't rained in the reverse direction in a long time. So most of the racers will be very out of practice. And if you have no experience going this direction in the rain, it's very, very tricky.
And the battle continues. Harb in first. Alex
is in first. Yep, Alex maintains first. From Harb, we get some good battles for the lead. You focus on the lead. I will keep track of everyone else, because there's battles all over the dang place. We're entering the final stages of the race, too. So it's all to play for, but unfortunately, well, not unfortunate for him, Manny's getting away in fourth place. Everyone else is just jockeying for championship points at this point. The battle for getting into the final is mostly done and dusted. Yeah, no live timing today. Blame the website.
Yeah, website is down.
Yeah, if the website's down, there's nothing we can do. As the white flag comes out, it is the final lap. If you're going to make a pass, you got to do it now. At least in the lap. About a minute and a half. But here comes the leaders. Coming out the final, wave that checkered flag. Here they come, crossing the line, taking first in LCQ with Alex, followed by Harb and Ethan. But who's coming in fourth? That is our man,
We'll
Manny.
get back to you in like 15 seconds.
Yep, that's how big the gap is to fourth. Manny takes the last spot of the LCQ, followed by Scott Miller,
who is eliminated now. Everyone here is in the elimination zone. That we won't be seeing them in the final, but they'll be getting their points and they'll be progressing their summer season. We'll see you at the final. Hello everyone and welcome back to PGP Motorsports Park for the final race, or welcome back to the final. You've already been here from the LCQ. This is our third race, and in the top 4 of the championship, we've got first 2 people in first place because they're tied in points, and 2 people in third place because they're tied for points. And we're going to see how that all gets shaken up in this race today.
Now, you saw in the last video the tied points, but off the top of my head, I'll try to remember them. It is Paulo and Sebastian who are tied for first, and it is Sergey and Spencer who are tied for third, I believe.
But meanwhile, on the grid, who do we have presenting?
Well, we got David on pole. Love to see it. Haven't said his name in a while. He beats me in chess almost every time. It's fine. And Sebastian in second. The same Sebastian that is tied for first. In the second row, we have Todd, had a fantastic heat race, and Spencer, who is also tied for third. And that's all we have for time for names now, as the flag bearer gets ready to start the race. Take it away.
Yep. Website hasn't quite come up yet, so no updates there, but the flag's waved and they're away. They're going 2 by 2 already. I see some pushing action going on there. I haven't quite seen him pull onto the 3 wide yet, but now we're going to be going into that as people try to push for everything that they can. 24 karts going into roller coaster, and so far, none of them have been crashed out yet. Very impressive racing from these professionals out here. Or they're pretty much pros, as they just keep the racing super tight, super close, and only little bits of contact here and there as they're up against the bumpers going into the top of the world. Lots of squirreling for positions, but David is the biggest winner out here as he gets a huge gap between himself and Sebastian in second, and Todd third place right behind him.
David, I did not forget when we agreed that if you win a league race, you pay for everyone's lunch. Just saying. Just saying. Get him, David.
Yeah, get him, David. All right, so yeah, we see there's some squabbling going on there as people go very wide out in turn 5, and we're going to see if there's going to be any mistakes there.
Todd's
but
making
this
a move in turn 3.
is the overtaking spot right here, the huge braking zone. David still holding that lead, but now it's Todd and Sebastian side by side, but Sebastian with the advantage there as he has the inside for that line there, and Todd is going to be racing for everything he's got here.
Whew.
Just to get that podium.
You know the worst part about all this? I do not see a GoPro on Todd's helmet. That is a shame, because Todd's having one of the best races he's had out here. Paulo's right behind him, by the way, in fourth. Both Paulo and Todd wearing Ferrari gear. But David is running away with the race. This is David's race to lose. Like, hopefully nothing bad happens, because he is just screaming away. In second place, we got Sebastian, followed closely by Todd, then Paulo. That's our top 4. Spencer in 5th, Kirk in 6th, Davidson in 7th.
Todd just doing everything he can to get side by side, but he gives his position away to Paulo by doing so.
I think
he's
Paulo
very
snuck
anxious
his
to
way
pass.
in there. He didn't. Yeah, Todd doesn't give up positions. I know Todd. Paulo snuck his way in there because this is Paulo we're talking about. He is very sneaky breaky with all these overtakes he's got, but they still managed to slot nicely into a train. And Todd thinks about a move into turn 5, but thinks better of it. Very wise by Todd not to dive for that. It's still too early.
Yeah, he thinks about it, but honestly, from this perspective, it looks like a feint. He's trying to bait Sebastian out.
Sebastian takes a slightly defensive line, and this is all to play for. Todd around the outside of 2. Oh, he doesn't want to be there. You don't want to be in that position. You're going to get caught out by Paulo on the inside. But then Todd retains the inside going into turn 1, and they're going to be side by side, probably going down the front straight. Just kidding. They slot it out, going down the front straight. All the momentum to play for. Todd signaling to Paulo, let's play it smart. I know Paulo's going to play it smart because they both have the momentum to get past Sebastian, who takes a really defensive line going into roller coaster, and they just slot neatly. This is going to be a really tight battle for second this whole race.
This is a 20-minute race, and already it feels like it's been going on forever. This fight is just constant with Todd and right on the back of Sebastian. I saw him giving the bump draft through there, trying to get that distance away from Paulo. So he's trying to play smart there because he doesn't want Paulo to be right up on him. And already I see that gap forming from the smart plays from Todd. He's no longer looking to overtake. He's looking to get me away from Paulo.
Okay, so what I think is happening, I don't have the data because the website's down, but I don't think that Sebastian...
Well, as I say that, Todd goes for the inside line into turn 5, and he's going to be stuck on the outside for turn 4. He's going to look for the undercut move as he tries to regain all his momentum, but it's Paulo with the momentum.
Paulo gives him the bump draft. Paulo's playing this brilliantly smart.
Todd is able to go on the inside of turn 3.
Because of that bump draft. Oh, and Paulo...
And Paulo does the double overtake for second place.
Almost. Doesn't quite make it stick. There, the 4 wide squabble through turn 3. Oh, no! And Davidson's on the inside, too. Everything exploded. And unfortunately, Todd drops back a couple positions. Really unfortunate. Davidson on the inside. Gonna fight Todd. Oh, no! Todd's falling really back. Really unfortunate for Todd. He was doing so well, but through no fault of his own, he got in the wrong place, wrong time. Spencer on the inside. Todd on the outside. Turns into the inside of roller coaster. And Todd maintains his spot. Unfortunately, Paulo got the 2-for-1 overtake. It only took that long, but now Paulo snipes 3rd place away from everybody, and Todd drops back to 4th. All because Todd got caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. If anything, it's because he made that ambitious move into turn 5, which he almost had, but it didn't quite work. And because
it gave Paulo the opportunity to do the big brain play of bump drafting him to go for that position. I hope that works out for you.
Paulo gave him the bump draft down the back straight, and that let Todd continue fighting, and that was a Trojan horse right there.
Another Trojan horse. We're just seeing so many big brain plays as like this aggressive racing just pays off and the huge pack behind him.
The good news for Todd is that all he lost was the position to Paulo. He dropped from 3rd to 4th. That's it.
Yeah,
That
minimizing
could
the
have been
losses
so
is
much worse
super
for him.
important.
But now Davidson actually is on the inside. He stuck by. Davidson snuck by in turn 2. But then Todd's fighting back. Oh, they're going back and forth. This is going to be crazy for the next 20 minutes. Oh, man.
Oh no, I think that
Davidson gets that better momentum and makes it by Todd. That's what happens. Todd was having the better momentum line, but I don't think Todd realized that Davidson was right behind him to just snipe that cart's width gap into turn 2. It's really tricky to take turn 2 without leaving space, and the space was left. Davidson saw it. Davidson went for it, and he snuck right on by.
and
But it's not
Davidson
over yet.
sneaks right by Paulo through light bulb. Davidson's on fire today.
Davidson's got that stealth build today. He's just sneaking by everybody. So now standing update really quick. Davidson first. Sebastian second. Davidson, Paulo, Todd, Spencer, Carmine, Kirk, Sergey, and William. That's our top 10.
And Todd looking for a move on the inside of Paulo.
Todd's a fighter. He's not going to give this up. As
And
gets
he
by.
makes it work.
Woo! We're seeing overtakes all over the dang place today. And to think, it was supposed to rain. Anything can still happen.
Yes, this order can get mixed up any moment. What happened?
So in the back, Carmine, from my point of view, it looked like either Kirk didn't realize Carmine was on the inside, and Kirk got fishtailed by Carmine. I don't know whose fault that was, but Kirk got fishtailed. I don't know if Kirk turned in too early, or if Carmine...
Wait, there's a cart.
Oh, yep, there's also another cart broken down on the inside of Double Apex. That looks like a mechanical failure.
Yeah, that looks like a mechanical failure there as well.
I can't tell who that is, but that's also Kirk's race finished. He dropped from a top 10 position all the way down to the very back.
Yep, and I'm going to give David some screen time real quick before we peel back to second and third. With Davidson now making a move.
Davidson, not the cleanest overtake, but
Yeah,
I don't think
that-
Sebastian realized he was going to make that move.
Yeah, that
There
looked like a
was
bump to pass a
contact.
little bit.
There was contact in that overtake, but they still slot neatly as they go down. So, standing update once more. Leading the race by a long
Oh,
shot
Davidson's
is
giving the position back, I think.
Yep.
He slowed
yeah,
down.
that looks like it. That looks like he's giving the position back. Good sportsmanship
Yeah.
by Davidson. Wisely giving the position back because it was not the cleanest overtake. Davidson knows he has the pace to make it stick. And now Sebastian knows that. So he's going to go turbo defensive probably. Coming down the front straight. We got starting from second place. Sebastian, Davidson, Todd, Paulo, Spencer, Sergey,
Davidson
William,
making a move on the
Carmine,
outside of roller coaster.
Steven, and Samuel. That's our top 10.
And Davidson makes it work around the outside of roller coaster. He
Woo!
gets past Sebastian.
And Davidson's going to run off in second place. Oh, man.
He's going to chase down David.
Probably.
Is he
And
going to
the
catch
thing-
up with David?
I eat lunch with these guys after every race. It's going to be quite a lot to talk about.
Yeah, this will be definitely a fun race to talk about over the table.
Oh, man, I hope their GoPros are on. Wait, I got to see. Did Davidson bring his GoPro today? I can't tell. It looks
Yes,
like
he did.
Oh,
the GoPro's
yeah.
right on there.
Yeah, check out the Man GP, the YouTube channel. That's where he posts his GoPro footage.
And a move from Todd. Yeah, that'd be
Todd
Todd on
Todd?
Sebastian.
And he gets the better line coming out. And Todd makes the move into that podium position. You'll have to see it. And now Sebastian's under threat by both Sergey and Paulo. Sergey on the inside of 3. Making a move on Paulo. Can he make it stick? I don't think he can.
He does.
But he does! What is this race? Paulo's dropping back. That is a rare sight indeed as Williams tries to sneak around the outside of Paulo. This is insane. I've never seen racing like this out here.
This is going to really disrupt the championship
This championship
standings.
is all over the place now. Oh, man.
What's so great about this championship so far is that there hasn't been a trend set. You never know who's going to win the next race. As we see Davidson going after David, the battle of the Davids here, as he is just pushing and he just shows that he has incredible pace. Like, he did like a bump to pass on Sebastian and he was like, oh yeah, I'm sorry dude, you can get past. And then he passes him around the outside of roller coaster. Davidson's on fire today.
Open up Microsoft Word because that was one of the boldest passes I've seen.
Yep.
I'll see myself out.
No, stay. We need those jokes.
Update on the battle for second. Davidson leads Todd. These two, they know each other. They're friends. I think if there's going to be any fighting for second, it's going to be clean, and it's going to be good to watch. Todd is badgering Davidson for second. I know Todd is in the podium position, but Todd's not going to settle for third. He makes the overtake just as sneakily as it was taken from him.
That was super impressive. He does the same move right back to him, and Todd now takes second place.
Yeah, Todd was all like, oh, you can sneak by me? I'll sneak by you. Todd wants to play smart.
And Davidson's now on the outside. The thing is, they're just going to let David run away.
Yeah, Todd wants to play this smart, because if they keep fighting like this, they're going to fall back into the clutches of the train behind him. It may look like there's a lot of space behind, and there is, for now, but they're still side by side. Davidson doesn't want to give this up. And Davidson taking crazy offensive lines, but has to slot back in. I mean, it's fair for Davidson to be aggressive to take the spot back, but you don't want to overdo it because of the looming threat of the Sebastian train from behind. They're still about a second behind, but if they fight too hard, they'll catch right up, and then it's all to play for. Instead of fighting for one position, you'll be fighting to not lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 positions.
A lot of positions to potentially be lost, and that's what Sebastian's feeling right now as he leads this train. With Sergey behind him, who actually wants to take his place as the conductor as he makes that move on the inside.
Woohoo! Sergey, that was
Dog.
committed!
Takes. Oh,
Negative
but
one
no,
spots.
he pushes it too hard.
That is an overcommitment from Sergey. He thought he could make the move, but he didn't. Which, that was, again, extra bold from Sergey, because Sebastian took a defensive line, but Sergey really forced the issue, thought he could make it work, which, if it was anyone else, he probably could have made it work. Sebastian's still taking those super defensive lines. Sebastian's holding everyone up. Even Paulo. Paulo is now in line to try to snipe the spot from Sebastian. Paulo's not having the perfect season that he's been having. He's still in fifth.
Yep, and here we see Davidson catching up to a lapped cart and passing him.
Yep.
So this lap cart could play havoc. Is this Harb?
Yeah, that is Harb being lapped. The menacing lapped cart and the menacing minions element. He is truly a menace in that minion's gonna be... Well, he won't be holding up everyone, because he knows well enough that lapped car etiquette. He might just pull over to the side down the front.
Yeah, we already saw that happen with David.
Yeah, because Harb is aware he's being lapped.
Oh, and at some point, Sergey decided to become the conductor of his very own Sergey train. He tries to peel... He's going to be trying to peel away from that, so that way he's no longer the conductor there, and he can chase down that battle for the podium.
Sergey said it's his turn to conduct the train.
Yeah, pretty much. But actually, that puts him in the podium.
Yep.
I believe, right? No,
no,
it
far
puts him
from
in
the podium.
fourth.
That's for fifth, dude.
Oh, fifth?
Just kidding, it's for fourth.
Yeah,
I didn't realize. Yeah, because Harb is now in the mix.
Yeah,
I thought Harb was one of the leaders. So yeah, Sergey is in fourth, followed by Sebastian, Paulo, Spencer, William, Carmine, Sam. Who's behind Sam?
I'm not sure what just happened there. It looks like Sergey was taking a defensive line, and I saw someone try to go even deeper on the inside of that, and that just slowed both of them down, and Paulo got past both of them.
Houdini. That's just a Paulo Houdini moment. We can write it off as a Paulo moment.
No, that just seemed like a blunder from the two people involved in the defensive lines there, because Paulo just took a normal line and was like, all right, I'll just pass you for free.
All right. Well, I hate to say it. Well, just kidding. I love to say it. They've built so much of a gap that Todd and Davidson can fight tooth and nail for second now.
Yeah, but there's also the gap between them and David if they want to win the race, which I imagine everyone wants to do.
But David bats Verstappen away with the race. That the only way David can lose this race is if he crashes or if his car breaks down. Which, let's not have that happen, please. I want to see David win.
Yeah, I do too, definitely.
If he beats me at chess, he could beat me on the racetrack, which he does. He has consistently placed ahead of me in every championship. So he deserves the win.
And much like the LCQ, we'll be looking at the battle for fourth place here. Paulo leading the way.
But Sergey having to sneak around the outside. Let's see if Sergey can make it work. Sergey makes it work around the outside.
And
Sergey takes fourth place back.
just like the lap before, he says he wants to drive the train.
And he is conducting beautifully. as per. This is Sergey we're talking about. Like Sergey, Paulo, Spencer, all these racers, that they're just maestros out here. They are putting their craft in action. You love to see it.
Yeah, just
Lots of skidding from the leader. David is not content with first. David's trying to get the fastest lap. He's pushing. David is pushing.
Yep. And now our two podium sitters are passing by Harb as he ducks out of the way.
Yep. Harb wisely lets them by, not interfering with the battle for second. Good to see it. Harb knows he's being lapped and is not going to get in the way.
And now we go back
to
to
the white flag comes out. David spearheads the lead. He knows he's got a huge gap to Todd in second, Davidson in third, Harb, who is unfortunately in last, but also takes the white flag. But starting from fourth place, we got Spencer, Paul, no, just kidding, Sergey, Paulo, Spencer, William, Steven, Carmine, Isabel gets past Sebastian. Sebastian's fallen back! Sebastian's fallen way back! He was leading the race! That's unfortunate to see.
Well, David was always leading the race, but he was leading in the pack from earlier, and now this is Davidson's chance to like try to get the points from Todd, as this is potentially one of Todd's highest finishing positions. Oh, and there it is, the bump to pass that we saw that he did to Sebastian. I wonder if, now that it's the last lap, is he going to give the position back now?
I doubt it. They're probably just going to let the track workers there determine if that was unfair or not, but it's all to play for. Todd's not happy. I bet David, they'll talk about it after the race, but it's racing. They're still in podium positions. This is fantastic for their championship because Paulo's in fifth. But as we see, David rounding turn one,
clean
and
race,
crosses the line. David wins the race.
That's going to be so good for his championship. I'm not sure where that'll put him, but we're going to see that on that blue markers. And second
Todd makes it
Todd.
by. I think Davidson let him by.
Oh, Davidson let him by. The sportsmanship right there. And then Sergey conducting the train.
Oh, God.
Gets it just at the line. Fourth place goes to Sergey. Fifth place goes to Paulo. And then everything falls into pieces right after that. We'll have that championship update for you right after the podium. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
All right, guys. First of all, thank you all for coming out. Round 3 of the series. I almost said that wasn't as clean as the first 2 rounds of the series. It was still relative. And I saw somebody give a spot back out on the track when they made it not so clean pass.
Twice.
Thank you.
He did it twice. He did it twice.
Maybe he did it twice. I like that. But anyways, coming in third place out there today, he had a best lap time of a 78.684, reaching 6.9 seconds off the leader. Very nice. Davidson man. Coming in second place with best lap time of a 78.584. Let me just double check. That might be best lap of the group. In second place, Mr. Tata. Indeed. And takes the top spot with best lap of a 78.928. David Monteville. 6.6 second lead.
Alright. 3, 2, 1, and then he probably wants one straight.
All these people.